What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Make sure I think carefully these days. Anyway, happy Wednesday. Hopefully, everything's going well on your end. Let me say what up to the guys. As always, Bro Shot, how are you on this fine Wednesday night?
Doing well. A lot to talk about, so it's going to be a fun show.
Hey, Chief, did you see him nod like, yeah, that's right.
He was just lots to talk about. You know, the old Clint Eastwood joint. You know what I mean? Next time when you hang a man, you make sure he's dead. Yeah, it's all good, bro. It's
How
gonna
you
be a
doing,
great
man?
show, man. Although y'all do a damn good show, just the two of you, man. I watched. I was like, man, that was a great show, man.
We were expecting you in the comments, man. You got tired? What happened?
Let me tell you, man. That 2:30 get up, man. If I don't get any rest before the day before, I was running on empty, man. I had gone to New York that weekend.
Oh, that's right.
So I hadn't got any rest prior. And now I'm just like, I was like, yo, you know, I might be like that old man just sleep on the show. Huh? Yeah, Jeff, yeah.
Great point.
Right. Goonies. So I had to do it, man. But I'm back, man. I'm back.
If you're going to wake up and say great choice, I'm going to not going to disagree with you. All right. Let's see what's up. Who all is here in the building with us? 80s kid from the 90s. What up, movie crew?
Yeah.
David Thanos is here as well.
Thanos. It's good.
I saw X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
I saw X-Men. Chief, did you see X-Men?
I did see X-Men.
80 said Marvel cooked. And David said,
yeah. They did put something in the pot, man. They put
stuff.
something in the pot. Green.
James Green. What's up, good people? What's up?
Yeah, man.
Jace, Chief, and Jeffrey. What's up, man? David
Man.
has another thought for your lack of sleep, Chief.
Hey, let me tell you, I get hangovers from just thinking about getting a hangover. I can look at liquor and wake up the next morning and be like, oh, God, what happened? So
That's a bad night.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. It's way different, man. It's funny what 20 years will do.
Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about X-Men 97 season finale. Let's try to avoid spoilers. I'm going to mention one. So if you all want to go in completely cold, I'm going to give you that's your cue to turn the mute back off and you can listen to us. But I felt watching this one. I think after last week, Jace, we had concluded this Joker was going to be done, and done in the sense of there was really no chance of them dropping the ball so dramatically that this wasn't going to be an epic season finale. And I think on all things, all levels, they did deliver, and it felt like the culmination of a comic book storyline. Like it was the big double-sized issue, 48 pages, no ads. And I was just like, wow, this is great. And Jalen Parks is here. What's up, man?
Fox, what up?
David Thanos says cameo overdose. Is that a bad thing? I'm not sure. Is that a bad thing?
I didn't get overdosed. I don't want to cut you off, but it really was. You felt like you were part of a Marvel universe, not an X-Men universe.
Yeah, which
I
I always
they've
think
done a great job throughout the whole series of doing that.
Mm-hmm. What up, Snake Eyes?
What up?
Yeah, so
Hey, guys.
I thought something that was really cool was just how, like, I need to rewatch this show. There were so many Easter eggs that were. I just feel like you're gonna have to watch this joint. Pause, because there's so much cool stuff. Oh, Jablen actually watched X-Men 97, a Saturday morning cartoon on a Wednesday night for this moment right here. All right, well, that being said, then.
Well, then our two people who usually don't watch the show have watched the show. Interesting.
Right, well, the spoiler bottle can is now open. But I'm going to talk in general terms right now. But like I was saying, you just need to look at this show very carefully. I mean, it's. I think it's frustrating watching them on PS4 because I have to keep pausing and it doesn't pick up as fast as some other things. But oh man, did you see the Magneto folder? For example,
Are you talking on the desk?
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, did you see the other aliases?
I did
Like in the folder. I mean, it's just stuff like that. Like, come on.
Again, when the showrunner basically said, "Hey, the lead bad guy hasn't been in every episode until you actually saw him," I'm like, you do know that just 100% means I got to watch every episode. I mean, that's just seeing stuff. I mean, just reading stuff like that. You're like, oh, I'm all in, and it was a good show, so I don't feel I'll miss something if I didn't see that. They're Easter eggs, they're fun, but definitely, the regular show was really good.
So take a pause when you get to the folder on the desk, because there's some other known aliases other than Eric Leshner, and it's just like, dude, you really really understand this whole deal and how to work in Easter eggs, which make them fun and cool, as opposed to feeling like homework. It's just like, wow, that's cool. I like how Jason's not so subtly turned it on and is looking up. Like, I mean, so smooth, Chief. He's a smooth criminal. MJ would be proud.
I just happen to have an Apple TV remote right beside me.
Come on. Yeah.
Who doesn't do that?
Right. And Chief, I thought one thing that was really cool watching this episode, I was actually worried about characters. And I'm never like that watching a kid's cartoon. I mean, Robotech tried to traumatize me early on. I was like,
it did traumatize you.
Well, they did.
No way around it.
And it was like one after another. Like, what is happening? But that's not the norm. And because of episode 5, just shook everything to the core of what the rules are for a cartoon comic book show. It used to be a Saturday morning cartoon where, well, I don't know. And you put that thought in me last week, Jace. Maybe it's gonna be the end for Cyclops. And I'm like, whoa, no! Mm-hmm. You don't put that evil out there, Bobby. Ricky Bobby. Don't put that evil on me. And but I mean, every fight scene, like, watch out, look out, watch the wing.
Yeah, I mean, at no point. I mean, after watching last week, if you weren't a little uneasy, I'm thinking you weren't actually watching. You were listening to the show, but you weren't watching the show. Like, I mean, Gambit definitely, his death changed almost. It changed the rules. It was, oh, okay, you guys aren't Saturday. Like I say, you aren't Saturday morning cartoon. You're more of a manga. Like, where everybody technically is fair game, and you have to like, oh, what's next?
Chief, we didn't talk to you about last week's show. I know you were texting me when you saw it, but what did you think about this episode? Just kind of in brief terms, not breaking down the whole episode, but what did you think about last week and this one?
Last week's was good. I think that was the one that featured a lot of Jubilee, right? In the mall. Was that last week's?
No.
Where they were running through the mall, him and her.
That was
they're all running together at this point.
2 weeks ago. I know.
I'm trying to think. Wolverine with the metal ripped out. So yeah, it all seems like the same episode now in my head. But I will tell you, last week's episode was definitely action packed. Just, a lot of fallen soldiers, a lot of people getting hurt. And what angered me this week about this week's episode is Mr. Fantastic stayed alive. I saw him there. It angered me to see him. I cussed the screen. Why is he here? He's flapping in the wind. I said, just blow him out the airlock. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's where I was with this episode. Great episode, but Fantastic needed to get it. What's up, Afton?
That was absolutely no call for that hate, by the way. Just none.
I will continue to hate where I can.
It was more switching into Mr. Fantastic. It wasn't even
I saw him there and I got angered.
You got triggered for real.
Cheering. They're probably going crazy. Oh, he's there. I was like, oh, he's there.
You.
Yeah.
I felt a different way about it.
Right. So I mean, I think because of Gambit and that actual concern for some of my favorite characters, I was really watching this one on edge. And as I'm watching, I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is a cartoon. I
Oh,
legit don't know.
that's cool. Sorry.
There you go. Okay, go ahead. Since you have seen it, I can pull this up.
You want me to?
Well, let me see if this will show. All right, so if you missed it, this was the AKAs for Magneto's identity. That first David is the original voice actor for Magneto in the first show. But if you look closer at the file, you'll see two other names, and their last names are redacted. Chief, do you know the reference?
No, don't. I mean,
The first one is who, Jace?
It's Ian McKellen.
And the second one would be
Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like randomness of Easter eggs. It's like, that's so cool.
I tell you, man, your eyes go hard, bro.
They were not mine.
He was like,
not mine. No, not mine. I'm gonna have to watch all of this over again because I missed the final. I didn't quite see what the final shot was. I'm like, what is this? And then I saw on Twitter because people have like super zooms and they're like watching, pouring over every moment. I'm just like, this show was great. So
final shot of what?
Huh?
Final shot of what?
We'll get to it.
Oh,
the episode.
All right, we ain't turning off the TV on that one then. Okay. Alrighty then.
So yeah, cool stuff. And I like that if you guys been paying attention to the opening credits or opening sequence, they keep changing out different scenes in and out.
Yeah.
This time we saw the Hellfire Club. I was like, oh, there you go. And we saw young Magneto and Charles, and they've done a really great job of not including everything in all of these sequences in the actual episode. So I was like, oh, they're just showing that. But then we actually got to see a little bit of them interacting. I was like, oh, flashback. But it's not. Xavier's like, nah, player, I gotta get your mind right because I need you to save the planet. And I thought what was really cool was Charles was still trying to reason with him until he was like, well, if the mutants have to burn too, then we'll just overcome through the darkness. And it's like, oh, that's it. You gone too far because clearly if you don't care about mutants, I know something's up. You've gone too far.
Today is not today. Yeah, he's over.
Yeah. And then just fried him. Bo DeMaio posted on his Twitter that he and the episode director were on the same page. They did it just like the comic book panel. So that's another one to check out. If you now that you finished watching the whole thing, check out his Twitter account, from the Wednesdays of every episode. And then there was another cool thing in that boat as he's surveying the wilderness, looking out and seeing around the horizon. Who's that in the boat? I'm like, yo, the show just randomly gets it with, let's see what all we can get away with, what we can put in, what we can't. And what do you think about seeing those two Avengers, Chief?
It was, I love when you guys, because you guys are like, yeah, and we put it to this and that, and it connects here. For me, man, it was just great seeing a whole bunch of superheroes. Iron Man, Cap.
You're thinking about those Avengers. I guess that's kind of tricky. Did you see the other two?
Who else was there?
So on the boat where Magneto's looking out in the distance, we don't get them in full color. They're kind of silhouetted, but we see enough of their colors where it's like, oh, so it's Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Oh, is it? I didn't. Yeah. So
Rogue's in the middle. They're on her right shoulder, and then on her left,
Rogue? That's when he started snapping out of it.
Yeah, so he sees her in the boat, and then on the left of Rogue, there's Polaris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I just got you.
Okay, see, so I'm not alone. He's like, yeah. I didn't, you eagled eye that joint. He got his magnifying glass. He's like,
I'm watching very far away.
I mean, like, because my TV's right over top of the monitor, so you can actually see it's 100%. It's you can make them out if you were actually looking at the screen exactly the right time, because you see Rogue is right there, but then you see it's Polaris on Rogue's left, and then Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch on the right. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
So now, guys, I have no idea if Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are still his kids in the comics. I
Don't worry about the comics.
I think I've written off the comics in terms of things that I care about. Like, there's a breaking point. I don't know exactly where it is for X-Men, but I don't care what they're doing in the comic books. And in terms of my comic book continuity, yes, they still are. But I don't know.
I read somewhere the other day where they're not now, and
they're not even mutants. I mean,
they weren't even mutants.
Yeah, it's like they're experimented by not even the Kree. It's some just like, what? How were they just randomly the only two? Just again, this is what I hate about comic book writers. If you did not create a character, do not mess with their backstory. You can make an interesting story, but do not break something you had nothing to do with on any level. It's like, you can make a good story, but leave it to, you are a caretaker. This is not your creation. Leave it. You can have a story that dusts people up, but it doesn't break them, and then keep going. It's like, anytime they mess with some origin or some crap, it's like, just stop. You're trash.
I don't care if they add some elements to it, like, back in 1970, the character mentioned, my best friend Jacob and I had this crazy incident, and then we learn a little bit more about Jacob, and then Jacob becomes a character. That's okay.
But that was there before you started messing with things. Again, if you decide, hey, I'm just in this instance right there, it's, hey, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are mutants, which makes them not Magneto's kids. But here's going to be a cool story. Why? You should be able to make cool stories about two heroes that were, by one of the biggest bad guys. Like, come on.
Right. Afton says, do not mess with the source material. I mean, so I'm kind of, I think the heart of the source material is more important to not mess with. Like, you can make some adjustments, you can do some tweaks. I feel like the MCU has done a pretty good job of tweaking existing comic book stories to fit within their universe. I just don't want something like, I don't know, like Civil War, the movie version to focus with Captain Marvel and Iron Man. Like, that'd have been stupid. That second storyline was trash. But I feel like if they can actually incorporate it, if it's a different medium, I'm okay. I just don't like when they're switching things out that have already been established in the comic book.
I mean, just this never happened, but if, say, DC was to make Nightwing that he was always an angry character, that was just like, no, just, we've got 40 years of Dick is not that dude. So yeah, let it be.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty good endpoint though, 80s kid, because I just finished rereading that, and like immediately after that, the Avenger books become just like, what are they doing? So yeah, I'm with you. That's not a terrible endpoint for Marvel continuity, because they had done some really cool stuff, and Jonathan Hickman had written this massive epic arc that was awesome, and Secret Wars was a nice, great big bow, and then craziness afterwards. Yeah. All right, so then we got X-Men. Xavier finally triggers the, hey, I'm freeing you up from this because I need to save the world. What's up, Ryan?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what up?
And we get the pulse, the magnetic pulse deactivated, and then we start seeing a bunch of cameos. We see Cap, we see Iron Man, and Iron Man is in his 1994 cartoon, or it's 96 cartoon armor. And I was like, this is so cool because it's just staying in the continuity of what they've already established. In this cartoon universe, like, yeah, it's all playing out right here. So that was really cool. Then we saw Doctor Strange, and they're like, keep him away from whoever's being operated on. His hands are shaky. Don't trust him. What else did we see? We saw Daredevil.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Cloak and Dagger.
Well, later on. We had Dagger in her No, she's more aware of how she looks now. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like her outfit, like she has a, her normal outfit is just, it's like a little cut. It's like a very complicated bathing suit. Like she took some scissors and did that along. She folded it up and then just did a scissor job. So like this is cut out. It's not massive and it's not big. It's just how her costume looks. But for the cartoon, it was black in that slit point. It's like nerd outrage for me, but whatever. It's X-Men 97. I'll let it pass. We saw the Winter Guard. We saw Crimson Dynamo, Dark Star, and Omega Red. That was cool.
Okay. Alpha
Flight. So it's cool stuff. Just here's what's going on in the world. And then people were, of course, on Twitter going, well, why are the Avengers not doing anything? I'm like, shush. It's not the Avengers show. This is X-Men.
Yeah, but I think the showrunner actually addressed that. It's like, hey, they're actually doing, I mean, I'm using the 94 continuity. And at this point, here's what this, in their story, this is what they would be doing. So what's going on? What did I see, Jeff? It was, they're fighting, they're basically like having a ramification of the Shi'ar in, I think the Kree. I think that's what they're dealing with. So they can't deal with, mutant genocide.
No, I think this is set in their cartoon continuity. But earlier, Captain America, when he confronts Rogue, is like, listen, because the Avengers are basically the government superheroes, and they'll do their thing on their own every so often, but they're all about the government clearance, and they cannot interfere if the government tells them to stand down, which is part of the basis of Civil War. So that's what's going on in there. Yeah, Jamie, I don't know why she was there. I guess they were just trying to figure out a way to incorporate her, but it was weird seeing her. And was that Cecile Reyes too? Because I didn't know who the black lady was alongside 3 members of Alpha Flight, but it was cool seeing them. And yes, Peter Parker and MJ were there too. And I guess I didn't finish watching that old school Spider-Man cartoon because it was this cliffhanger of did Peter and Mary Jane reunite, and Bo tweeted, yes, they are back together. Chief, did you remember watching that, like the Spider-Man cartoon and the cliffhanger with them? Chief, can you hear me?
Oh, I thought you said Jace. The old the old Spider-Man cartoon. I remember Super Friends.
It was the one in the 90s, like the same time period.
It was in the 90s, right?
Huh?
Super Friends? What was Super Friends?
Early 80s.
Was it 80s?
If that.
Iceman and
No. You're talking about Spider-Man and Firestar.
Amazing Friends. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I'm trying to think of a Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s.
Yeah. It was on Fox.
I'm sure I saw
it. You saw another cameo.
I see Spider-Man and Peter and MJ.
And I think Eddie Brock is running behind him too.
Yeah. Is that Flash?
I'm pretty sure I've seen. I mean, I've pretty much gone through every daggone superhero cartoon there is. I've been watching the Superman, the Adventures of Superman. Not the Adventures. What's the one?
The new one on Max?
No, man. The older one where Superman is seriously underpowered, and he's
Justice League.
Justice League.
Nah, bro. I can tell you. Let me hold on a second because I've been watching this. And
thanks for saving me again, Hawkgirl. Fire and Ice. I see what you did there, 80s kid. Spider Blood, Radioactive Spider Blood. I'm trying to. I feel like there's a tune to that I'm missing. Spider Blood, Radioactive.
The animated series, Superman, the animated series.
Oh, you thought he was underpowered on that?
Oh man, he's incredibly underpowered. He is incredibly underpowered.
I like how there's so many options from the show where Superman was.
At least Smallville, he was learning his power.
I mean, this dude is getting beat by everybody. Electricity affects him. He's got to wear a space suit.
He did that. That was called selling toys.
Exactly. Like that was way too cruel marketing. He didn't let go.
You know what I mean? He's fighting the electricity girl for Live Wire. And he puts on a basically a cellophane suit.
Listen,
a shiny cellophane suit.
I need to introduce you to the cross marketing of figures.
Yeah, man.
And this figure, is a figure. Those look cool. Like,
oh, it really was, man. That's funny. See,
so I've been watching that, and I go through the cartoons, man, and that's what I'm on now. And then from there, I move to Batman the animated series and go through that again. So, but yeah, if you watch it again, look how underpowered he is.
Oh, I know. I mean, I watch that show quite often. Ryan says I still haven't watched this X-Men show yet, but if it's as good as the Jack Black Lizzo episode of Mandalorian, I'll give it a shot.
I think it clears that bar pretty. An opening episode clears that like easily.
That's just amazing troll work. But actually, I like that episode because that was one of the few that season where Mando was doing something alongside Bo-Katan.
I never watched it. I never watched that season.
It's good.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. You came on this joint and told me what, and that's why I never got into it. Yeah, I was like, another low rated episode.
The problem was this: season 2 had maybe my favorite season finale of anything ever, and it's a high bar because of what they did. I mean, they could have literally thrown in another character. I'm like, it was all right. It was cool. It was fine. I'd have been like, it was cool. But because of choosing Luke, my logic and rationale goes out the window. Luke Skywalker's destroying these guys are about to destroy the Mando crew. Because of that, that's way up there. So season 3 was never going to be anywhere close to that for me because of oh my gosh, I was not expecting this at all. This is even better than I possibly would have imagined from that. So,
and the Book of Boba Fett getting a great episode that should have been a Mandalorian season.
Right. Yeah, it's funny because it felt like that was the best episode of Boba Fett that season, and Mandalorian kind of really needed that for his show. Season 3 was fine. It's just not. I don't know. It was the spotlight was kind of shared with him and Bo-Katan, so it was like, all right, she's cool. I like her. It just felt like there were too many Mandalorians making Mando not as special.
Yeah. All you got to do is say, I ain't like it. And that's it for me. I'm like, man, I'm not even gonna waste my time.
No, it was fine. It was like nothing. I would watch it again. Let me say that.
I'm
gonna put it there. I would watch it again.
Did you watch the cartoon Clone Wars, right?
Not all of it, but a lot of episodes. You know, okay. I'm not where you guys are.
A good sampling of it. So if you enjoyed the Mandalorian episodes of Clone War, you'll easily get into, I think, Mandalorian season 3 and be like, oh, this is good.
We'll see what happens, man. But if y'all don't enjoy it, man, I don't rush to do it. I'm JT, baby. Nah, baby, not gonna be able to do.
Can you do it?
Ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, brother. I'll be sitting right there watching something else.
Jamlin says, I've never seen an episode of The Mandalorian I didn't like. And I'm more on that boat. Like, I wasn't like, that episode was trash. I just was like, it'd be cool to just watch Mando and Grogu going off doing their lone samurai thing. So I think my lack of, oh my gosh, this was amazing was because I don't know if I like the direction for the season, but I didn't think it was bad. And Ryan says season 3 was the Ryan says season 3 was the Mandalorians. It was about Bo-Katan and the concert, Mandos and Din, and Grogu were passengers tagging along. Right.
Yeah.
Hawks is that dude that everybody likes, man. I feel like everybody likes him. He likes everybody. When he walks outside, people across the street like, Hawks, what up, though? And he like, you know what I mean? Wherever he goes, he don't dislike anybody. You know what I mean? So he's like, yeah, he didn't like it. You like it. They like it. The characters like you. They don't even know you. It's all good, man. I don't know. Just sitting there wasting, what is that? 5 hours? 6 hours? Is the show 5 or 6 episodes?
I mean, they're not hour-long shows.
I think it was 8 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, 5 hours or so. That's a long time to waste, man.
You will not feel like, again, let's say this. I if you had a
What
Saturday
up, Keith?
that you're just chilling, I think you could enjoy watching Mandalorian and not be this is trash.
You know what, man? If I'll re-go it. I'll re-go it, man. See what happens.
Keith said, I'd rather Mando just doing ish and not mattering in the big scheme of Star Wars.
Whoa. We have to make sense of why Palpatine came back, okay? You guys have to accept that. We have to make this trash make sense.
I will not.
Yeah. I think
David says I can accept not watching Daredevil, but Mandalorian is a different ballgame.
They're about to come for me. You didn't watch Mandalorian?
No, it was a mild detour, mild tangent. Don't worry, we're back to spoiler. So yeah, back to X-Men. So we did get our very timely villain celebratory victory dance. Bastion, Mr. Sinister. How many times did you go back to go save your mommy, Cable? And I'm not sure if I said this on the show when I was talking with you or in my review, that they were pushing the whole Phoenix thing. Like, you guys need to chill because you're making her max out her powers to a point where you're not going to want any parts of this.
Yeah, man. I think that was smart. It was because it was, we think we won. Are you sure?
Yeah. And
there's only one person who's ever had that in this universe, and it wasn't Madeline.
If she was able to hold on to it for a few minutes longer, that would have ended the episode.
Exactly. So it was really, I thought that was perfectly done. We get rid of one major threat, and that's the only one you get. That's your mulligan, and you're gonna have to do the rest of the work on your own.
My man turned into a straight sucker, didn't he?
Sinister?
Yeah. My man started screaming, man.
I think one of my favorite parts in the episode was when, they did the homage to the debut of Phoenix. She's coming out of water and Storm starts laughing. I was like, that's good stuff. Because she was like, y'all are about to get it now.
Yeah, man.
She did a straight Nelson.
So, you done effed up now.
How my hair look, Marv? You look like this, Sinister. You know what I mean? Shoot, remind me to that Snoop from the Wire joint. How my hair look, Mike? It look good, girl. Yeah, he hit that joint on him, man. Then ran off crying. And this dude was the hardest dude in the world for what, 3 episodes?
A whole season.
Yeah, it
was.
Yeah.
Keith says they got the 90s Avengers looking sad. But that is definitely a sentiment I've been seeing a lot on social media now. Oh, the Avengers ain't got nothing on the X-Men. I'm like, wow. That's so funny how a cartoon flips the whole dynamic of the Avengers X-Men, because this is like 2000.
That was the dynamic in the 90s, wasn't it?
I mean, nobody's thinking about the Avengers during the 90s. It's all about the X-Men. I'm saying that the Avengers put in solid, long-term, long-form work in like 20 movies, and 10 episodes of a cartoon come around. It's like, bam, wait, we're back on the X-Men train again.
How many years? I mean, so how many years has it been since Endgame?
Yeah, well, there you go, 4 years, and they haven't had really any kind of Avengers thing in the interim. So, yeah,
and anybody. Oh, I'll go with the easy one. Man, Cyclops looks like a sucker. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna make Cyclops look like a sucker. That's not going to happen. He's going to look like the leader of this team, and he's going to be looking like a force.
I'm sending a digital fruit basket to everybody involved with making Cyclops look like the man in this season. Like, send a cuddle, and a medal if I could.
Yeah.
Storm was like Bill Duke in minutes. You know exactly. That's exact. I mean, that was. I don't know. I was like, this is some real implementation of Storm coming through in this moment right here.
Yeah,
that's why I said night. People are talking like current day of Avengers too.
Now, I also liked how Bastion. Everyone looked at the end of last week's episode. You looked like they weren't going to be survivors, but no, Bastion wants to get them all together and just taunt them. It was like I have to have my super bad guy moment. Like I beat all of you. I could have been an X-Men, but I'm now not. So,
but I mean, but I think what was so cool was that Phoenix was needed to eliminate this threat. So, we've been like, I don't know, what are you going to do? There's no time travel. Phoenix, and they pull this every so often with Madeline and Jean kind of merging together, so that made sense. We still don't know about that psychic thing that was getting all of the telepaths at Genosha, because Emma Frost got it, Jean got it, far away, and Madeline got it. So
wasn't that Cable coming in?
No, because there was different points when he was around where they were all getting that spike.
I mean, again, that's another thing we're gonna watch about. We're gonna watch in our recap. I'm like, what are they? That's another Easter egg they probably left. I mean, that's a clue for next season.
The Avengers, dude, they have put everyone on the Avengers,
right?
Huh?
Another season's already been announced.
I think they're en route to trying to get season 4.
Season 4. They've already did 2, 3. Okay.
I'm just. They're like, all right, this is good. The reaction is off the charts.
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead and start, giving them the money, the finance, and all that stuff, so they can start doing whatever they need to do to plan ahead for season 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the reaction to this has been wild. I think the showrunner tweeted that it's done better than Ahsoka. And there was something else on. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Like, it's done really well for Disney Plus. There we go.
Put Disney Plus back on the map, huh? Gentlemen, we've reached our profit for the third quarter.
Actually, that is actually kind of the truth.
Let's see. Let's see. Of course. Now I'm not gonna be able to find it. Jeez.
All right. What's the overall thing you're trying to find?
There it is. All right.
Okay.
So a 90s animated revival surpassed Loki season 2 and Ahsoka. That's insane to me. I'm also curious with the rewatch and long game numbers, especially after Deadpool Wolverine premieres. So that's pretty solid.
I think some of that has to do with this is something that people could get into without having a lot of doing the quote unquote a lot of homework to jump into. It's here's a show and we're back.
Are you serious? No homework?
No, I have not watched that original X-Men cartoon for dang near probably 20 years. But if you tell me here's the X-Men, okay, cool. You get that first episode, get a glimpse of everybody's powers, go. And then that's the storyline you're telling me. I don't technically need the background data.
I think what's great to this is they almost make me want to go back and rewatch the old show. But I would get annoyed after like 5 episodes of Cyclops is whining and just made it look like a jump. But this one, I think, if you were a fan of the 92 series, you're going to love it. If you didn't care for the 92 series, you're going to love this. And I think if you're just walking in cold to the X-Men, they make it new viewer friendly enough that you can catch up to all the important parts because the story is relatively self-contained and everything you need to know you can get from just watching the 10 episodes.
And then if you were say, wow, if you jumped in this, didn't watch it, you'd be like, I wonder if they could make this into a live action movie.
No, they cannot.
You're co-signing what we said last week. You couldn't do it.
Huh?
You said you're co-signing what we said last week. They can't really do it.
You can't do it, man.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see anything with the X-Men. I was just sitting here thinking of Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut. And in my mind, I was like, let me keep a straight face when I picture him. You know what I mean?
Man, that's the weird thing is with this cartoon. I don't know if I mean I know you have a multiverse, but do you want to have your cartoons stepping on your live action toes? I mean, I know Warner Brothers wouldn't do it because you're sniffing. Oh, did you use do you use Gambit in that? No, we're gonna take him back. We have a movie idea in 10 years. We're gonna use him for. Yeah,
you're right about that. 10 years though. 13 episodes. Wait, maybe it's not right. Season 2 was 13 episodes. One more time. Season 3 was 19 episodes. 4 was so they're around 4 or 17. So they keep adding episodes, which is interesting because normally they start cutting them down. And then season 4, the final one, or season 5, was 14. Captain America showed up on season 5, episode 11. For those of you curious, he's in the thumbnail there.
Yeah, I'm good. Like again, I remember.
I was mentioning that without posting that. The streaming numbers for this show is going to be. I think so too.
Yeah. Look, they haven't hit anything in the recent. Nothing too much in the recent. I mean, I think Ahsoka was their last show, but not even by everybody liked Ahsoka. So here we go.
Keith doesn't like Star Wars. Go right to the second sentence. True. I'm not a Star Wars guy. Stop. He would hate on Star Wars or Ahsoka for not being a Star Wars guy. But if you were into Star Wars, probably like Ahsoka. I think Ryan didn't like it, but
I enjoyed Ahsoka.
Yeah. My crying might be from not getting enough cool Star Wars content. But yeah. All right. So then
we get Ray. Ray can I interest you in Ray movies?
Just don't get it. Oh my gosh.
Is that what happened now?
Downpour.
Oh, the double thumbs?
It's like tornado. Ahsoka was refreshing. I liked it too. So we got Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and am I forgetting somebody? Fighting
Sunspot.
Bastion.
Sunspot.
And man. Okay, you're right. So Rogue was up there too. So they're fighting Bastion, and I thought it was ironic that the traitors started fighting him first, and Rogue beats the heck out of Bastion, and that was awesome.
Okay,
awesome.
Can you explain to me how that worked out?
What?
Were they on? I'm trying to think. Did they go to the dark side of the moon where there's atmosphere and where the Inhumans are?
I think Asteroid M might have like a pocket atmosphere around it.
Okay, I was kind of wasn't sure.
Well, don't worry about that because when Sunspot caught Jubilee, clearly they were in space and there was nothing around them. She was just breathing just as well, riding with him into.
He's got a protective aura around him.
Yeah.
People right around.
Well, I mean, at some point you see, like when Bastion's fighting Rogue, he does lift her up in the air, and she is losing air. It is not because of him choking. It's the height that's making a difference. I think
when he's taking her down, he's in the atmosphere where he can keep her around just long enough. I don't think they were high up because Asteroid M was coming down at that point.
The fight took place in the air, but you know what? I will go for whatever you guys want to go for. You guys are the experts.
Let's stop worrying about
defer to you.
Don't worry about that atmosphere. Like, why are we trying to bring in logic? I will try to earn a no prize, but yeah, with you, Keith. No need to go for logic here. Watching a show about a dude with optic blast coming out of his eyes. And then when Bastion got inside, Nightcrawler was giving him the business again. I love seeing Nightcrawler as an excellent expert fighter because outside that scene in X-Men 2, never really gotten to see him do his thing. And he is a great fighter because he can move around really fast. And we got to see that in action again. Cyclops was like, "You're not gonna beat us," and he was pulling out Marvel versus Capcom size optic blast, like lighting up the whole screen. That was cool. And Jubilee even got some licks in. She like smashed his head up, like bam. That was cool. Use anime logic. Exactly. Yes, this is just it's all good. I mean, we're talking about a show where the dude has claws coming sticking out of his knuckles. Why do we need to apply logic to it? Actually, he should have that adamantium should have poisoned his body a long time ago.
Actually, his quick healing factor gets rid of that problem. So, lawyered, comic book nerded.
Lord. Cyclops turned into Vin Diesel. Don't mess with my
Yeah. I mean, but I'm sure people after seeing LA, all right, Cyclops, not a chump. Like, okay, got it.
Never been a chump. I don't know why.
And if you watch the cartoon, he was a chump. He was a master chump. Hey, Scott, I'm gonna take your girl. You be out.
Yeah, Mr. T was in there?
That was the Australian Canadian.
That was a very terrible Wolverine.
Mr. T. Okay.
So the Beast gets his moment, bringing in the Sentinel, little Trojan Sentinel action, and then we get more of a fight. And what I love next was Cyclops was like, listen, we're not gonna win, and he's probably gonna kill some more of us. I'm not gonna see any more X-Men die on this. And he's like, Bastion, let's stop this fighting. And Bastion's like, well, I'd love to, but humanity isn't down for us. And a note here. X-Men's all about family. Right, 80s. I pity the fool, Bob. Keith says Cyclops got to say behold one time for the big blast. Might as well. When they were discussing the Magneto protocols, there's a very interesting thing there. This guy saying in Wolverine fight for if you love her, something to that effect. I was reading that as him talking about Jubilee.
Nah, he was talking. Hey, I know you love her, and don't make her disappointed. You just dying like that without her seeing you. So
listen. I would have let him die.
I'll beat you in the arena. I don't have to worry about you.
So when they were discussing these Magneto protocols, which were a terrible plan, let's shoot missiles at this space station. Terrible. We saw Black Panther for the second time. And people were like, I don't know if you've been on Twitter. T'Challa's trending. T'Challa. Kalo on Twitter, at Forever Heroics, tweeted to Bo DeMaio, the showrunner. I like to know because otherwise it's extremely weird to not show T'Challa in an out of MCU continuity animated series when every logical choice would be that it should be him and not his dad. MCU Black Panther stuff should not affect other projects. Now, Bo has been very upfront talking about everything and any and all things. He's like, yeah, I'll tell you. I don't care. What are they going to do? Fire me? He said, I can't speak to this choice. So the word on the street is that there's can't run T'Challa as Black Panther in anything. And people are upset about that. Now, I have no facts, so that's why it's not my dummy of the week.
I was going to say, like, I don't want to say you could use a Civil War kind of deal, but could you, MCU Civil War?
No. He in the Fantastic Four 95 animated series. He's around. His dad is dead in that show. Now, I love the fact that in every live action, every Marvel Studios thing, except for Guardians Volume 3, the final thing is seeing Black Panther hit the ground with a big pulse, and that's it. And then in the animated shows, we're seeing him from What If and seeing T'Challa. I love that. I don't want that to be the only time we see T'Challa. That's stupid. I mean, they have recast Thunderbolt Ross. Harrison Ford, come on up. do the same exact thing with Black Panther. I don't want to see him never shown again because of what happened to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They recast Christopher Reeves. So if you can't say somebody's iconic, I mean, I'm sorry, that's cool, but that can't be the end of the character.
Keith, I like his pops. His pops was dead in the Fantastic Four show, and they have stuck to this continuity of all these other cartoons. His daddy was dead years ago at this point. So that was just really odd. Like, I don't even know if they needed to show Black Panther talking to the United Nations. I'd have been fine just going, yo.
Yes, you could have just put
that's Black Panther.
Yeah, you could just put the cowl on and we just it's Black Panther.
Exactly. I mean, he did have the cowl on. He was running around because, of course, the Prime Sentinels could not get through the Wakanda defenses, which was awesome. They're just like, yeah, I think we're gonna get through here, boss. It's a no-go here. And then the X-Men are fighting over who's going to make the sacrifice play, and Rogue's like, no one is going to sacrifice themselves. Quick question, Chief, Jace, chat. What's your favorite Wolverine moment from this episode?
When he was on the bed, not doing anything.
When he was like, and the dude was like, let me transform into Jean Grey to give him encouragement. Fight, Wolverine, I love you. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, hey, you know, Morph might have a thing for him, but, you know, I was like, okay, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
But, no, I mean, you had that really cool scene. I mean, fighting, like, what was it, the last 2 episodes have been really cool Wolverine fight scenes. So having him actually being taken out and still being able, all the other ones, like, hey, he had his moment, but we're dialing it back to remind you the rest of these guys are cool. Very much what you will not see on Justice League, the animated series, when Superman is knocked out by the most random crap just to get Hawkgirl and all the rest of them over.
Fight stronger. Run, Flash.
Oh,
I've got it, Green Lantern. No problem. I'll stop this guy that knocked out Superman.
Yes,
David Thanos,
it's just as effective as heat vision.
Yeah, no. It's good. I forgot about Wolverine because Cyclops and everyone else were so cool. Exactly, 80s kid. And that I feel like is the greatest thing of this show. They recalibrated the X-Men, so it's not Wolverine and those guys. It's not Beyonce and them. It's the X-Men.
They really had a show called Wolverine and the X-Men. This is letting you know, like, this is not really about the X-Men. This is about this guy. What'd you think of Cable in the episode?
Listen, I wanted Forge to think up some magic duct tape that would grow his arm because I felt like this final fight against Bastion, they had Forge on the sideline, they had Cable on the sideline, they had Morph who could do any character on the sidelines. Like, Wolverine can sleep on his own, just like Rogue did when the Prime Sentinels were invading the mansion. Get out there and fight, Morph. And he turned into Chief's favorite hero, Mr. Fantastic, when the Blackbird was getting blown.
Just scowling.
Really? So they basically had to take Wolverine out for Cyclops. I mean, everyone had their moment. Everyone had their moment.
Like, I mean, Cable had his moment. I mean, like, when he actually, you know, I don't need an arm to come out here and beast y'all. Yeah, Rogue. Because in that kind of fight, it almost made sense that Wolverine wouldn't be able to do that much. He'd have to be too close to him, and it's like, this is a laser. This is a gunfight. We're not bringing fists here.
That's the thing about Wolverine that no one else in these other movies wants to acknowledge. He is a short range fighter. He's not a distance one. And Nightcrawler can get around that because he can teleport and get up closer. Jubilee can do both. Wolverine is, I'm coming at you with my claws. Great. You're out of there. And exactly, Keith. They sideline Logan. We'll see him in Deadpool. We don't need him anymore, at least for right now. Can Morph turn into Galactus? Well, Impossible Man can, so I guess he could. But without knowing Galactus's power set, I don't know how effective that would be. And he definitely didn't need to turn into Galactus on Asteroid M. And David says Love Cable that moment in the diner was deep, was great. It was Cyclops, Jean talking to Cable, and we get that moment from Uncanny X-Men before the X-Men go deal with the Hellfire Club and spring their trap, where Phoenix wants to see Cyclops' eyes. Love this stuff. I mean, this is so many hits from old X-Men comic books that they make feel really natural in the sense of this storyline. So love that. That was awesome. And where are you now in this episode rewatch that you're casually doing? Why are you looking so nervous, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
You're
I
talking
think
to
you're
me.
talking about Chief because his eyes are down.
No, my eyes aren't watching the new episode, sir. We all know that it's you.
No, it's right there, so I have to look up there.
Okay.
No,
It's interesting how some people aren't aware that Wolverine was not one of the original X-Men. It's because they made the X-Men so far about him. It's like they have a popular character, and it's like, you know how to make him even more popular? Put him everywhere. They did that with Deadpool. And with Deadpool, they did it with Lobo first, and Harley Quinn is just obnoxious now because she's in everything. Just wow.
She's got her own show still on Max too, doesn't she?
Yeah. It's just too much.
So
Too much.
Chief
is probably what he's doing, David.
That makes sense.
Counting them Z's.
Now the truth comes out.
You know me well, Thanos. You know me well.
So Magneto wakes up. He's ready to fight. Takes Asteroid M out of the Earth's orbit. It explodes. And then the X-Men, 6 months later, we learn via Bishop that they've been taken somewhere else. Half the team, no telling where Storm is yet, arrived in, what year was this, BC?
3000 BC?
3000 BC. Why didn't I write? Yes, thank you. And then they're helping this random dude who takes off his mask, and it's Abin Sur, aka Insaba Noor, aka Apocalypse. And Beast gives a little, oh, that's not great. And then Cyclops and Jean Grey are in the future, where they're encountering Mother Scotty and young Nathan Summers. And that's based off of a comic book, The Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. That's where they took their honeymoon, going to help them. So, oh dear, thank you. That's what he said.
I was going to say, where Apocalypse was, did he have like kind of a technologically futuristic society? No, that wasn't really a thumbs up. But background, I couldn't see if it was he had made his like kind of super futuristic Egypt, and they were.
We haven't seen that yet, but Kang or Rama Tut also is running around during that time period. So I wonder if we'll see Kang show up. You know, we are in the era of the Kang dynasty, so maybe that's something they could throw in there. And then we got our post credit, the first one of the season. Apocalypse is going through the wreckage of Genosha. And he's looking around and he's like, oh, what they do to my children. And then he picks up something. Did you know what that something was, bro?
Sure, I told you.
Yeah, of course. Okay. It was a card. One of Gambit's burned up cards in the wreckage. There was a big dome.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping they would get the Slim and Red in Salvador direction. Was a surprise. It was. I was like, I can't believe they did that. Kang, who's that? Hey, Keith, they're hoping everyone forgets who Kang was. All right, well, that was X-Men 97. I'm so glad that everyone got to watch it so we could talk about it in full.
Did you like how Bishop, when he came back, it was like, we've never met.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, like, again, everybody else had, but.
Well, no. Also, that was a play on when Bishop first meets Forge in the original cartoon, where Forge goes, oh, you haven't met me yet. You remember that? That's early on in the show, so it was like a nice take on that. Bishop was cool. I'm glad we got to see him again. I don't think that would make a lot of sense for Kenosha to show up because he's not really tied into something they could interact with without a Moon Knight. Maybe they could, but I don't know if they would try to go that deep into it. All right, so Chief, final thoughts on X-Men 97 season 1.
Season 1 was good. I was forced to watch it, but I am glad that I did check it out. And I'll be looking forward to season 2. But hopefully I can get a couple of episodes in again like I did and kind of binge watch it a little bit because it felt good to come in and watch 4 or 5 episodes straight. So
yeah, that is a good thing. I'm guessing Bishop was on a different adventure during the whole season. I think they said he was kind of lost in time, so maybe he just needed to get a device to get back to the past. Jamelin, so do you think they'll do Onslaught? They've got to. I mean, it was right there. And so I think we're going to. But I think going with Apocalypse, we go from Mr. Sinister, Bastion. We got one level of bad guy. Then we go up to the next one with Apocalypse. Then season 3, we go to Onslaught. And maybe they want to go really fun. We could go Age of Apocalypse after that. So, yeah. I can see them going in a lot of different ways. So too does David Thanos. They could go down so many roads when they come back. So many.
Because I thought when they disappeared, we weren't going to see it all about the X-Men. I thought that was going to be they're actually in Age of Apocalypse or something like that. And Onslaught.
I mean, that's later.
I mean, it's the weird joint is if you play it out right, your season 2 or 3 or 4 could be Onslaught, and then focusing on the Age of Apocalypse, because Heroes Reborn, they get taken out because of Onslaught, right?
Right.
So you could just say, hey, we touch on them, but you don't ever see them. We just focus on the X-Men part of it.
No. The X-Men are still there. Then and the anti-mutant hysteria goes even further because it's like, you took our real heroes, the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. You guys suck even more than you did before. And they could do that because we saw the silhouettes of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, saw Iron Man, saw Cap. We've seen Hulk already. The only one that was really big and missing was Thor. So a lot of those and other characters they could have to fight him. I don't see any reason why they can't do the Fantastic Four now. So
they've already shown you can. They've already. They, because of these cameos, okay, there's nobody that's off limit to put in this show.
I don't know. We did not see a direct shot of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, so maybe. But maybe I was just being dramatic. 80's Kid, I hope it's a long way away. It was a fun concept, but there's really no reason to have the Avengers fight the X-Men. And because it was like the X-Men were living their best life. And it was just like, yo, here comes the Phoenix, and maybe we can re-spark our mutant population. And the Avengers like, no, what are you doing? So I don't know. They never really come off well.
Why was it? It was they were almost the Avengers were happy that the mutants were gone.
They wanted to do another Civil War, and now
because it didn't.
It's all about the money, Ethan.
It's like okay, it's like we're gonna just be jerks for no reason, and also Secret Wars didn't make sense either. But whatever.
Crazy, we got a pre-apocalypse and now an apocalypse now. Come on, it's right there, David.
Gotta take him when you can.
You gotta take him. Who's the MVP of the season for you all this season? More 6th man of the year. Avengers, PR looking back.
Oh man, who's mine?
Yes, we'll be taking questions afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gambit. I think Gambit, even though he wasn't in the whole season, I thought he was cool.
It's in the first half. Chief, how about you?
The MVP of the season. Who would I say? Yeah, I enjoyed watching the most. It wasn't Mr. Fantastic.
You're such a for no reason.
And he's gonna be the first one in line when that movie comes out. Man.
Well, first of all, I will not be in that line.
Again, he's gonna click. You know, when he goes on Lyles, passes her out on LylesMovieFile.com. He's like, type in, okay, which theater I'm in. Okay, I got that one.
Yeah, it's so untrue, and you know it in your heart to be untrue. I will be home with a Ouija board, praying for the demise of that thing. You know what I mean? Will it fail? Yes.
Chief, you've opened up a door. Close the door.
Just make sure you get your Ouija board from Warner Brothers.
The MVP of the season I'm gonna say Magneto. Magneto kind of kicked it off. He was kicking it off the whole time on everything. His hands was in it the whole time. From the beginning, wanting to lead them in a great direction, then turning, then wanting to destroy everything. So yeah.
I mean, it's because I think it was a couple episodes. I was saying, they needed to do something to make it look like Magneto wasn't right. Cool. And I think this episode helps to remind you. It's like, yes, this is he was right here, and then he takes it way too high. And he's like, I don't care if it's mutants or humans. Thank you. He's wrong. Got it. He's going way off the deep end. Got it.
Yes,
this is going to shock you all who my MVP of the season was.
Not at all.
Scott Summers, a.k.a. Slim, a.k.a. Cyclops, finally getting an opportunity. And the showrunners, the directors understood Cyclops' optic beams are force concussion blast, which means you can level a mountain with them. They're not like, oh, he's burning a whole laser style. Not all the time. But he's out wide like that. He can level all kinds of stuff. He can use it to skate back. They were doing cool stuff with his powers. He was the leader. And I mean, they did a great job with him. I thought they did a great job with Magneto, like Chief said too. And let me see. And who else I think was really cool that they did a good job with? Jean Grey. I feel like she kind of she's either too powerful or not powerful enough. And I thought they did a really good job with the balance with her this season. And we got a little bit of the fun with her and Scott in the love triangle. I hope they never do Avengers versus X-Men. I hated that book for the divorce. I wonder if your autocorrect try to put in more on you. Yeah, I mean, watching the heroes fight each other is kind of cool, and who would win if so and so fought? But for a in continuity book, it was this bad schism, which I hated because there was no reason for the X-Men to fight at that point. It just, they were dumb.
I mean, if you want to do heroes fighting each other, just do Secret Wars. Yeah, that was always the easiest way to go.
They weren't fighting the heroes in that. They were fighting bad guys. Jamelin, I could honestly take or leave more. I felt like they were kind of like that too, because he would show up, have a cool cameo, switch to another character, and that was it. Rogue's another great choice too. He is the final boss. I just don't know if they can stand waiting 8 hours for him to fill up a Voss bottle. David Thanos says Magneto was MVP. Another vote for Scott.
Yeah. She had a really good story arc. I think that was
cool. All right. Well, we wrapped up X-Men talk. Chief. I know you're excited about this one, so let's get right away into it.
Let's get into it.
They finally decided on a name. It is going to be Agatha all along for this spinoff that you've been looking forward to.
That's what I kept telling you. It was Agatha all along. How many times have I said that?
Several times. September 18th. 2 episodes just for you, so no delay. You can get right into the series.
Good. Birdman hand rub. Good.
Jace, excitement level for Agatha all along.
I'm as excited as Chief is to watch Fantastic Four.
Ouch.
Mm.
Come on. Again, what's the point of that show?
There is no point.
I mean, oh, it's Agatha all along. Well, we saw that in. Oh, you're gonna make her good or bad in another show? For what reason? You've killed off Scarlet Witch potentially. Why do I care? I mean, unless you're going to use that to bring Scarlet Witch back. But with the track record after watching Secret Invasion, I have no faith in your live action crap.
Well, they're starting a new generation. And so they have to come out there and make Agatha, they'll bring in some new characters, you know what I mean? And just do a new thing. It'll be great, man. And you will enjoy it. And those in the comments, the people in the comments will enjoy it too.
But will you enjoy it? Will you enjoy it, Chief?
I will be front row on my couch. No one in front of me. Clear shot to the TV. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to have my popcorn, Orville Redenbacher with the movie butter, you know, and a beverage of my choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Waiting to watch it, man. And like you said, it's 2 episodes. So I can just sit back, kick my feet up, you know what I mean? Put on my fluffy slippers, you know, because it's September, so it's cooling down. Fluffy slippers are back out. And I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself, man. You know what I mean? I might put on my smoking jacket and hit a cigar or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah. All right. Here's another interesting bit of news. What do you think is the top 2 most viewed series on Disney Plus for 2024?
Based on what we said, I'm gonna have to say Loki and X-Men 97.
2024. What came out though? I don't even. So
yeah.
So only X-Men came out.
Bluey.
I think Bluey's been pretty popular. Gunner would sell us that.
Yeah.
X-Men.
I'm not sure, man. I don't even know.
Spare you further deliberation. Echo is the second most viewed series on Disney Plus. Number 1 is one of your favorite shows, Chief, Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Oh man, great show.
Did it get canceled or what?
Heck no, it's one of the most viewed shows. That thing is coming back strong, forte. You know
I love that you're not sitting here like just so annoyed that we don't have the date for the next season of Percy Jackson. You may be dead before it comes back, Chief.
I may be, but you know what? As I lay there passing away, I'll say to myself, "It's coming back though," and that in itself will chill me out, man. I can go in peace. So the first season was just fantastic, man.
Chief is not agreeing with you. He said Percy was a letdown.
If you mean by letdown, fantastic, then yes. Yes, it was. A big letdown.
Hey, you guys remember, y'all are my age, so you would know, or close enough for your case, bro. Barbarella, the Jane Fonda sci-fi film.
That was like the early 80s.
Yeah. You remember that one? Okay.
I remember that movie.
So Sydney Sweeney is she's going to star in it. And the would have been Ant-Man director Edgar Wright is looking to direct it.
Why?
Because Sydney Sweeney could play Barbarella?
Oh, man. That's when I said why, man. Damn, that's exciting. Hell yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you talk about good content and movies, I mean, I was thinking the other day, I was sitting outside in the rain. And I said, you know what?
Exactly,
Barbarella.
Keith. Exactly, Keith.
Barbarella. Why don't they bring back Barbarella? Yep. And look,
I feel like I should pin this comment and just pull it up at all times.
Whatever
just being sarcastic. I should just make that a meme, 80s kid. Just put it on the strip whenever is needed.
And to be honest with you, I'm a little perturbed that they didn't bring Jane Fonda back to run it back. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I can't wait, man. This is going to be excellent. Hey, listen, we'll all go together. You know what I mean? So I'm coming to get y'all, pick you up. We'll all go see Barbarella, man. It's going to be fantastic. It's just what we asked for. I know Jeff is excited.
I am actually.
Yeah,
but
let's try to keep this PG, folks.
I'm gonna put up another appropriate comment from Keith Cooper. Thank you, Keith. All right.
Okay. I mean, like, seriously, when I'm pretty sure, like, how do you pitch that to a theater?
How do you need to?
This, I mean, come on. That come
that
on.
Doesn't need.
There was no way you could like. How am I going to pitch you
Barbarella?
I need you to give me $50 million to run back Barbarella. No, get out of my face. Like, nah, trust me, it's a market for this. I tested it. No, there is not a market for this. Yeah. Like, come on.
I would disagree with you.
To the Juggernaut series.
With
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Jones is back as the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Not nut.
The nut, because that's what he was. He was a juggernaut in that movie. He was a nut. He was wearing that's
the After Dark version, the Patreon version of this podcast.
He was wearing a Battle of the Planets helmet and running around. You know what I mean? Little purple helmet.
Oh no.
Exactly, Jamelin. I'm like, what the heck are you?
I remember that movie. I'm just in this super PC world. Do you really think they can run this thing?
Heck yes.
No. This would be some. I'm trying not to use. This will be some think piece Barbarella. Like, not a chance. Like, they will. Would you like to see us in? Do you really think?
When it actually it's Barbarella gratuitous, so it's just gonna have everything you need. You know what I mean? Barbarella gratuitous.
They don't have a chance in running that. They can't do it. I mean the 70s one was like, okay, we all know what we're here for. We're not. You can't pull this off in 2024. Just nah.
Speaking of Sweeney, I'm almost done watching Euphoria. And I got to say, between this show and the Spider-Man trilogy, Zendaya kind of bores her. Kind of bores me.
Challengers?
No. That's not PG the way they promoted that one. 80s here from the 90s says we need a Flash Gordon movie instead. No. They would ruin that.
Yeah, you have to lean into the camp.
Oh. Yeah. And if Queen's not doing the soundtrack, what are we even doing?
Oh no! Remember, soundtracks don't make a movie. What are you guys, movie snobs?
Yeah.
Hat low to avoid the shots coming at you. All right. Daredevil, Born Again, March 2025.
Is that around the time Superman comes out? It's gonna be awesome, bro. Awesome.
All right, let's see.
They just keep hitting. Is this with the dude who plays it now, or did they pick a new Daredevil?
Yeah, the old one. So you can watch Daredevil season 3 now. Hater.
Yeah, and Jamelin, if they can make that movie, I'm sure that there will be a very good audience. If they do a trailer for it, I think that it could work.
Can't wait for this Daredevil movie, man. I've been seeing them free. I can't wait to pay for it.
It's on Disney Plus. It's not a movie.
This is the Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah. I
thought we had to go out to see it.
This is getting Netflix
I agree.
defenders back up and running.
Okay. Yeah, let's go do it, man. I'm excited. No, don't pop the champagne yet. It's 2025. All right, take it easy. No. Put it back in. Pop it soon.
Yeah, it's coming on the week before Percy Jackson season 2. Ben Affleck is that. You know what? I feel like Ben got a bad rap for that movie. really, if he wrote and directed that, it'd been awesome. Like really awesome.
Okay. All right, that would be one of those movies. If I don't know, is that on Disney Plus?
I think so.
Do they have the extended edition of it though?
I don't know about that.
That would be one of those movies I think would be worth viewing the extended edition of it to see, does this movie was it better than what we saw, what people saw in theaters? I saw the extended. I thought it was good.
Maybe we'll add that to our watch along list after
won't.
Raid 1 and 2.
I don't want to watch that movie ever again.
Coward.
I don't give a damn how far it's extended.
Hey, now Jeff tried to have us watch, what was it, Dark Phoenix, and I saw the
You didn't say that.
You missed the episode.
But I thought you was joking.
No, I like sometimes lining up MST3K style. That would be one of those. But I know you guys on the text were very excited to watch Madam Web.
Yeah. It's loading right now on my Netflix.
I knew it. Sigourney Weaver is going to be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That can't be a bad casting choice. She's awesome. So I would almost kind of like her as a villain. What do you think?
No, I can't use her as a villain.
Why?
Because we just used her as a villain in Defenders.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Who saw that? Get to hear her say, "Get away from her, you bitch." So you know what I mean?
Did the Green Lantern over here just throw shade at 2003 Daredevil? Yes, Jamelin.
Listen. Listen. Let me tell you something. That Green Lantern wasn't that bad. 2003 Daredevil.
Exactly, Jamelin. The director's cut is far better.
Let me tell you, man, there's no way. The director's cut of the Green Lantern is far better.
No, that's not.
Yeah, what was that, Chief?
I don't know. I'll be back. I'm going to lock and load and check it out.
Oh man, this may mean you won't be back for Percy Jackson season 2. All right, John Leguizamo is making some rounds about he was in talks with Marvel Studios to play the Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming. This is tough. I like Leguizamo, but Michael Keaton killed the role. So Marvel Studios reached out to him after Michael Keaton signed on, but then started to get cold feet. And so Marvel Studios is like, all right, let's get Leguizamo as our backup. And he said, I hadn't signed a contract, but we had agreed. I think those are suitable terms. Jace, what do you think?
He didn't sign anything. Just, man, he knows that well enough. I mean, they already had an actor in the role, so they would get sued by Michael Keaton if he doesn't drop out. So now,
is there any chance that John Leguizamo would have been a better Vulture?
I don't want to see him. I don't like seeing him. I mean, yeah, I probably got a little bad taste in my mouth from watching Spawn at 11 o'clock at night,
probably
20, 30 years ago. But I don't want to see him as a bad guy. I think he's a good enough actor that you don't need to have him as a back. You know, you don't have to have him just a small cameo role like John Wick, but you could actually have him as a main character. Good guy.
Listen, not over Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. You know, he's in that joint. He's bitching. He's upset. Bro, you're not a better actor than Michael Keaton. Never will be. Never was. Not even in the same level. You're a good actor. I'll get that. But Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom.
You've seen Romeo plus Juliet, right?
No.
Like, now, granted, if you wanted me to list more,
yeah, that was his great villain role to be.
He's awesome in that. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be the consensus.
To
go to what?
Huh?
The movie's humor. Man, that was finally Spider-Man. Yeah. he's not gonna get much love on that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I like him. He had played the part in John Wick when he made the phone call, and the dude was like, "Why did you hit my son?" I mean, excellent part. It was a big part of the movie, but that part right there was great. He's there's a couple of movies that I love him in. The movie was a drug dealer. Certain things. He does his Ice Age joint.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No. Donnie Brasco. What was he in?
I don't know. He had the G on him, the big G that was his brother's.
No, that was Donnie Brasco.
And then they hit him at the end. But the thing about it is
Carlito's Way. Daggone, I knew it.
Yeah, Carlito's Way. Oh yeah, when he's Benny Blanco. Yeah,
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
But nah, Michael Keaton, no sir. No sir. Sit down, man. You're not going to be picked over Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? There's probably very few actors who would, so don't take it personal. It's just real. That's just being real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's just being real. You can't be mad at that.
Absolutely. All right, so moving on from that. The executive producer of the Arrowverse, Mark Guggenheim, was chatting up with fans and talking about the possibility of the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths actually being released in theaters. He said, "I don't believe this is publicly known. Again, statute of limitations. But we've been working with Warner Brothers to release all 5 hours of Crisis in movie theaters across the country. The event, arranged through Fathom Events, was going to include special surprises like cast appearances and giveaways. Ooh, man, an Arrow hat. And we would also cut together a few bonuses that would have been screened in between episodes. And yes, they would have included the deleted scenes with all the virtual effects completed, the sound mix, and the picture colored time. At this point, you're probably wondering why this event didn't go forward. Well, the answer is that it was scheduled for April 2020. COVID ruins everything.
Freaking COVID.
So would you wanted to see that in theaters?
No.
I liked it. I mean, if you could do the big giant battle with a couple more heroes and not just the CW verse characters, I think that would have been cooler.
Yeah, I don't think they were gonna. I won't put your comment on the screen, but that was funny. That could have been cool. I wish they could have done a little bit more. But after watching these cartoon versions, the CW one is much better. Gosh,
I still don't know why I'm going to do this myself, but I'm probably going to buy the second one.
Nope. Just do what I did. Wait till it hits max.
We still got to watch. Was it Agatha? I mean, not Agatha, but Abigail. That's on Amazon now. So.
Oh wow, you should watch it. It was good.
Yeah, that's going down.
All right. So that's that. Let's see here. Just a couple more news items. We've got the Furiosa Mad Max saga press going. Chris Hemsworth has been asked about a few things, particularly what directors like Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, and Francis Ford Coppola have said about comic movies and how they're basically trashing them. And Hemsworth said, those guys had films that didn't work too. We all have. When they talked about what was wrong with superheroes, I thought, cool, tell that to the billions who watched them. Were they all wrong? Yeah.
Okay, so.
Tell them, Chris.
It's like, defend your art. Good job.
Or defend his property.
Again, or it's like, hey, did anyone who's not a movie snob watch Children, whatever the Flower Moon, Oil of the Flower Moon?
You said Oil of the Flower Moon?
Whatever the heck that movie, that 4-hour long movie he made.
All right, so here's Chris was continuing to defend the MCU. Cinema going did not change because of superheroes, but because of smartphones and social media. Superhero films actually kept people in the cinemas during that transition, and now people are coming back, so they deserve a little more appreciation. Then he talked about actors who were critical of Marvel Studio movies or their MCU experiences after appearing in projects that may not have worked. It's like they're films that are successful. Put me in one. Oh, mine didn't work? I'll bash them. Look, I grew up on a soap opera, and it used to bother me when actors would later talk about the show with guilt or shame. Humility goes a long way. One of the older actors on Home and Away said, "We don't get paid to make the good lines sound good, but to make the bad ones work." That stuck with me. And hey, it's all a lesson. And if I ever went back to Thor, I wonder how we could change it again. But there is a superhero curse in the sense you get pigeonholed, and I felt a little hamstring of what I've done, and I desperately wanted to scare it up. And Furiosa did. So, what do you guys think? He is defending the might of superhero movies.
I mean, but when he says he was pigeonhole, he was in, what was that, Rush?
I like Rush too. That was good.
I mean, that wasn't a superhero movie. So, the funny thing is, he's just actually like if he's getting pigeonholed, it's because he's actually looks bigger than everybody else. I mean, it's just you. I mean, I think it's on some level, kind of Dave Bautista's thing. It's like, but you look so much. It's really hard for us to put you on the screen with Tom Cruise. So, I mean,
don't worry, they got amazing stuff.
We have our little 5'2" actresses, and you're 6'5" and let's say conservatively 250. There's not much. I mean, there's only so many roles we can do for you, and you got to kind of break out that. And Chris Hemsworth, 6'4", it's like, or something of that nature. It's like, yeah, bro.
Let's be
not
honest.
much you can do. I mean, they're gonna put you in those roles that are more action oriented because you look the part.
And he's not that great of an actor yet. So, I mean, let's be honest. Bautista, please don't come to my house with the bullshit. I'm not going to accept it here at my house. He is a great actor. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, I watched that stupid movie with the Will You Make a Decision? And I was like, oh, this acting is good.
Cabin in the Woods.
No, not Cabin in the Woods, bro. It was like a movie where they had to kill each other. Or
I'm sorry. It was the M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Right. Knock at the cabin.
Knock at the door.
That joint was, when I tell you that joint was some cut, and his acting was some cut, and I'm like, this is not your niche. You don't fit here, bro. You're not a serious actor yet. I mean, you still got more to do. You know what I mean?
Might be an acting class that you could take.
Yeah. John Leguizamo's going to beat you out every time. You know what I mean? He may not beat Michael Keaton, but he's going to beat Dave Bautista. Unless we're talking about an action film or something. You know what I mean? But you're not there yet. So, it is what it is, man. It's every week it's some director or some producer or somebody crying about something, man. But nobody's crying about how the movies they putting out sucks. Why don't we get some tears about that? Why don't we get some crying about that? Yeah,
movies cost more
movies. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I understand why y'all not going to them. It is what it is, man. You know, I hate to see millionaires cry. It hurts me. You know what I mean? People got real problems. After you finish complaining, you going for a dip in your pool or something, overlooking the Hollywood Hills. Yeah, get out of here, man. Nobody wants to hear your complaints.
Yeah. All right, guys. I need you all to stay away. Stay safe. Distance yourself. Yeah. Like.
Oh yeah, on the COVID joint, Batman in an Olympic-sized pool, talking about stay inside the house. Like, bro, your house is an amusement park. I'm living in a hovel. My apartment is two.
You can separate people on wings. I got like this corner and that corner.
All right, I got some rapid fire stuff. I want your thoughts on this first.
Okay.
So we are getting Nick Cage doing Spider-Man Noir. Live action. What do you think? You don't care?
I don't even know why. I don't have no opinion, man, because I feel like I'm just gonna go negative. Go on.
You didn't like the kind of Spider-Man Noir arc in Enter the Spider-Verse?
No.
Okay.
Was that the end of the live for the rapid questions?
No, that was not it. The Boys season 4 has not come out, but they've already got renewed for a 5th season. So you can watch season 4 without worrying, oh no, what's gonna happen?
The Boys is excellent.
Yeah, I think
Keith Cooper will take it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't care about it, Chief. And Hayes Kid says, I didn't ask for it. We all know Sony's reputation.
Man, he didn't
I
ask
mean,
for
Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse were excellent.
it.
And I mean, this
remember how
should be
cheesy he looked in a Superman uniform, even though they CGI'd it.
that wasn't on him. That was nothing he had anything to do with.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying though. He just looked crazy in the uniform.
Well, I mean, he's gonna have the mask on most of the time. He's gonna be rocking the fedora, the trench coat.
I've seen him already as Bat Dad. And what was his name? Hell Daddy and Kick Ass.
Yeah.
Big Daddy. It was something. He had a mask on. But go ahead.
You're right. That was when he had his looking what was it? Batman-esque mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane was not feeling it.
Wait,
Jeff,
live action negative response to something. See,
that's why I didn't even get into it, man. I let the people come for it, man. Don't even get me started. You know what I mean?
I feel like of all of their ridiculous, no one asked for this projects, see Madam Web, Morbius, or don't. This one has the best chance to actually work because Nicolas Cage will commit to it. And according to my calendar, this should be his good movie. So, yeah.
Bro, what movie does Nicolas Cage not commit to? Nicolas Cage does every movie that comes across his desk.
What's up, Blake? I mean, but this should be the good one. Like he'll be dialed in. He'll do whatever is necessary. Yeah. But the movie might be terrible. It might suck, like Reinfeldt.
I was gonna say you forget he's probably already done 10 movies before the next one. Like you can't actually say which one's gonna be the good one. They stagger him out. You never know which ones. Oh, that was my good one, but you didn't know because I had done 2-3 bad ones in the middle. No,
he will play him crazy. I mean, that should be good. I am optimistic on that one.
Blizzy, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm starting on what.
All right, this last one that you sent me just before showtime. Oh, or a couple. Jeez,
I think like 3 or 4. Dude.
Yeah, you did. All right. So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is renewed for season 2 on Amazon, but Donald Glover and Maya Erskine are not expected to return.
Then why I call it season 2?
Great question, Chief. Great question.
They didn't like each other, right? That's what I'm getting.
It sounded like they were oil and water.
Yeah.
Oh, well, on behind the scenes?
Yeah. That came out real early. They did not.
Yeah, they didn't like each other. So I don't understand. And why red light it? I don't know. You know what? Don't even get me started.
Green it.
Give me the girl.
Man, they just was like, yo, nobody saw season 1. Let's go.
I watched episode 1. Yeah, it's funny because I never heard any of this stuff about them not liking working with each other. But I felt like they were watching that episode. Like, that makes sense. Because I was like, what's up with the chemistry here? Yeah. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. That was even more. That answered all my questions even more than a big gym with that size.
Good job.
Thank you. All right. Natasha Lyonne is going to be joining the Fantastic Four. So I guess I should just ask Jace this. What will her role be? Alicia Masters?
Crystal.
Gosh, no. She's no. She can't play Crystal. Crystal's fresh faced and young. Natasha's not. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that they got right with that Inhumans Abomination on ABC, the cast, well, half the cast really looked the part. Maximus, Black Bolt, Medusa, Crystal, Karnak.
No, I meant to say Medusa. That's what I meant to say.
Say Suit.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sue's already cast.
We cut Crystal. I mean, Medusa's hair off in the first episode. That made perfect sense.
That was terrible. Just a terrible.
I hope it falls right off a cliff.
Like the original print just literally goes off a cliff, never to be found again.
Yes, it's all digital, but it went into a cliff.
And somehow we were sending it over to our theaters, and somehow it went to a cliff, and it's now dead.
It is just
Natasha, the landlady of the Baxter Building. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll have a good role for her. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really move the needle for me at all.
Okay.
But this bit of news that you shared right before Showtime does. Donnie Yen is set to star in a John Wick Kane spinoff movie. Whenever it airs, whenever we get it, I am there and ready. Thoughts?
How old is Donnie Yen now?
Does it matter?
It does.
Did you
does,
see
man.
John Wick for?
It does, man. Nobody wants to see a 70-year-old dude. Remember, what's his name? David Carradine? And he was moving like that.
And I don't remember moving like that.
Man, he was in that joint.
He's 60, Chief. He'll be 61 in July.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Listen,
that's not 70. He's still got plenty of good years left.
Yeah, they should be spent with his children and his grandchildren.
Wow.
Gosh, man, you're sending him out to dry.
Put him out to pasture.
Yeah,
Oh, 90's been a good run.
That's the torch, young man. Old soldier. Jeez.
You know what
Exactly,
I mean?
Jay Wood. He's not David Carradine.
That's true, man. He's not David Carradine. No one can move that slow like David Carradine. those kung fu joints, man. David Carradine was almost. I thought they had paused the show. He was moving so slow. I mean, yeah, this Donnie Yen thing, man. I'm not looking. I don't know. I'm so sick of everything. I'm sick of everything, man.
But, hey,
you sound like it.
Wouldn't you? I'd much rather watch.
It's a movie, Snake Eyes, not a TV show.
Then what's the drink? The Continental. Continental had no chance with me. But
I wasn't watching the Continental anyways because of Gibson.
That's the dude.
That's why I've never watched an Expendable. That's why I never watched.
Wait. He was in one Expendable.
It was enough for me.
Wow.
The whole franchise.
He was in the third one.
I missed the first two, and when I went to watch it, he was in it.
I can't give that last shit off. That logic threw me.
Like, I mean,
I'm retroactively not watching it once he wasn't in it because
I mean, sorry, you to see Jean-Claude Van Damme as a bad guy. I mean, come on, you're missing out, man.
Man, listen.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, come on, man.
I mean, Eric Williams is a bad guy, as always. Come on.
And one of my favorite movies is Apocalypto, and I can't even watch it no more.
Man, sorry.
Jaguar Paw.
And you said a Thundercat movie? No, I don't want to see that.
They're gonna butcher that one, 80s kid.
That scares me.
Brian says the roaring success of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny shows that audiences want to see AARP action heroes.
I didn't go see those movies because he was old. I like Harrison Ford. I just don't want to see an old Indiana Jones that I know is not doing these things.
Okay, Jeff. Like, what was the movie we watched? Like we all did a movie and it was Raging Sun with Donnie Yen.
Oh, yes. Here, let me pull it up. It was my favorite movie from that year. It was awesome.
What was the Raiders of the Lost Ark? What was that? 1980?
It's a minute ago.
Yeah,
probably. I was like 5 when that movie came out. And
Raging Fire, Jace.
Yeah, that. If you say, hey, the guy who's in this movie is going to star in a movie, I'm like, yeah, sell me out. I'm good.
Like these fake masters on YouTube who incapacitate people barely touching them.
That's real. That's real, Blake. That's real. Just a touch.
1981.
I was 6 years old, and this dude's still doing movies, bro. Action movies.
I don't know.
He was a grown man in 81. Not just a grown man, a grown-ass man. And now he's still doing action. I don't want to see it, bro.
Okay. Now you got to make his point. If you had a casting choice on who you replace William Hurt with, do you really want to place him with Harrison Ford?
That's terrible. One. Also true.
I mean, Christopher Lee, Lord of the Ring got lucky. Christopher Lee was able to do it. If he passed during those, it would have sucked.
It would have, because they couldn't replace him. Yeah. I haven't read Life Story
where Harrison Ford was bringing somebody up, like Indiana Jones. He was like, you may be his son or something, and he was the new. And then the son was doing all the heavy lifting.
Did you see the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Who?
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Him and Sean Connery.
No, that
No,
was Shia
Shia.
LaBeouf.
Shia crazy as hell.
Basically killed his career, right? I mean, I don't feel like he's been anything else. I hear they're talking about a live action Tomb Raider. I liked Alicia Vikander. I thought she was fine. I don't know why they need to switch up. All right. It's that fantastic, wonderful time of the week. Who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week? Jace, you're in the right top square. Why don't you go first?
I got one question before he does that.
Oh, yes.
Was there a Supergirl movie loading?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Supergirl has been announced from Warner Brothers, and it is going to be the next movie in their DC superhero universe that's coming out. And it's going to be following Superman. So it's going to show up in theaters June 26, 2026. The second movie in the DCU. So we get Superman next year and then Supergirl the following year.
Is the same Supergirl from The Flash?
No. Melissa Benoist.
It is Millie Alcock, who's currently starring in House of the Dragon, or was starring in that on Game of Thrones. Not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon, yeah.
So, how excited? Yeah. Oh man, there's just no excitement.
Just stare.
Just the cold stare.
I hope this follows the new Superman and the Fantastic Four right off that cliff.
Not this weekend, David, but hopefully soon. All right, Jace, who you got?
My dummy of the week is Mr. All right, maybe not Mr., but King Combs. You want to know why King Combs is my dummy of the week?
Please.
Because King Combs thought it would be a good idea to get on in on this diss tracking thing, and he decided, you know who I should call out? 50 Cent. So he released the record on YouTube or whatever, trying dissing 50 Cent. I haven't heard any responses to this, but this is not going to end well.
Exactly. Like who is this dude you were talking about? I feel like you just made together some words to come up with create my own rapper.
Oh, this is King Combs is Sean's kid. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't clear enough. Puffy, Sean Diddy Combs' son, decided it was a good idea to get on a diss track and say some crap about 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent.
This is the lay low phase of I'm Diddy's kid. This is what you do. You do not release a diss track on anyone right now, even if it was the janitor down the street.
You know, Blake, you actually are right on that idea. I'm not going to argue. That
now you're coming around on the city.
That you can get around that, but trying to hold center a movie might be a little dicier.
I heard that, Jordan, and then I saw what's his name dancing to it, Stevie J with his shirt off, dancing to the song. Man, you can't make this stuff up anymore, man. You know what I mean? And it's like I always pick the wrong week to stop using drugs. You know what I mean? Because something's just supposed to be right back. You know what I mean?
I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Right. I picked the wrong week, man. Because I'm just like, gosh, dang, man.
All right. So my nominee for Dummy of the Week has to be TJ Miller. He's been out in the press for whatever reason because he said Ryan Reynolds was a nobody before Deadpool. And after Deadpool's success, he changed.
Okay. Everything's for clicks and likes, man. I don't even know who the guy you talking about.
TJ Miller was, she's out of your league. Cloverfield.
That's the main character from Out of League?
The best friend.
Oh,
wait a minute. He's the one who's been taking shots on Ryan for years because he said some crap that basically got him blackballed out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they're like, can I get on Club Shay Shay? Somebody have me be relevant? Like, nah, you're good. Nobody's coming for you, man. You mess it up.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Stainer.
Yes, exactly. Him and Jessica Jones.
And he was you went after Ryan, but you work with him. That's
No. He's not going to be in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nah, he's not.
And Ryan is apparently tried to, reach out. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
all right, Chief, who's your nominee?
It would have been Millie Alcock had I had more time, because I'm looking at this joint and I'm just disappointed. But
why are you disappointed? Because it's a can of worms.
No, I'm not going to. What bastard hit Steve Buscemi in New York? Steve, man, he's just chilling, bro. Talking to a shorty on the street, a dude comes and co-cocks him from no altercation, no words, no nothing. Just a dude from out the blue comes and hits him. I'm like, bro, that's Steve, man. You never watched Empire? You didn't watch
you didn't watch Con Air? Like, really?
You know what I mean?
He's a former firefighter, man. Come on,
bro.
Like, really?
Maybe the characters he plays aren't far from what he is. Maybe you just signed your death warrant over. Maybe they'll never find you. They're still looking for the dude. And in New York, there's cameras that follow you all the way home, and now they can't find the dude. You probably shouldn't have hit him. It's just a wild world out here. My man is just people just come and cold cock you down. Man,
that's the thing in New York, I heard. Like, we're just gonna randomly punch somebody.
Let me tell you something, man. I went to New York. I wish somebody would have randomly punched me. I would have still been beating on that dude, man. I'm not taking no whooping on 42nd Street. You know what I mean? Fashion Avenue. I'm not taking no whooping on Fashion Avenue. You know what I mean? You're not gonna beat me in front of the Macy's. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have it, bro. I'm not gonna have it. I don't know what's going on around this world anymore. When you can't stand on the street without somebody punching you in your face.
Yeah.
So that is my dummy of the week. Whoever hit him, I hope they catch you. And I hope they throw you in a cell with a bunch of his fans. So yeah, it's getting crazy out here, man.
Nice.
Yeah, listen, man. Snake Eyes, man, you don't need teeth, man. Get them peeled out. Get you some dentures.
Don't do that, Snake Eyes.
All right, good. Also, not
thank you.
This is not medical advice.
What? I'm not giving. I'm no doctor, but I play one on TV. And also, you know what I mean? What are you doing? I mean, at a certain age, you don't really need them. People are always getting the fake joints now, anyways, man. They're getting the veneers.
I was gonna say, if you see if you just watching like random YouTube clips of the celebrities, like how white can you have your veneers? Like,
bro, that's what it is nowadays. Everybody's getting perfect teeth. The teeth we have are out of style, man. With our teeth, man, fresh teeth, white teeth is the new breast augmentation for everybody. You know what I mean?
Just getting hold it back. He's just like, all right, I'm done.
I'm just saying, man. Listen, we can all go in there, pay $25,000, and come out with the whitest white teeth we ever had, bro.
Again, if you were on Instagram or where it's just your headshots, yay, that's I got to sell my brand.
We are selling the brand. We're selling the Lyles Movie File brand here.
And I have a dulling light for that reason.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to make sure that when I see the dentist next week, I'm going to have them whiten them. And then, hell, I might even get braces. And maybe 42 C's. What's up, Lizzie? There's no more natural people, man. It is what it is out here, man, in the streets, man. You know what, man? I didn't even know veneers stank. They said the veneers if you don't put them on tightly, they stink. It's just a whole bunch to it now, man.
I was gonna say, like, you think all the food particles getting underneath them and just sitting there?
I don't know, bro. I when I go to the dentist now, I'm at that age now where I remember the dentist who used to argue with me. You need to save the tooth. I just go in there now, man. Pull them. I don't care. Pull them. Who am I going to try to impress? You know, I got a few more years on the earth. I don't care.
I mean, he's just trying to make sure he didn't see Superman. That's all.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's more of what's happening here.
Pull what you need to pull, man. You know what I mean? I'm not running up on no 25-year-old girl like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? My days, it's over for me, bro. It's over. You know?
Well, hopefully they will last until next week for another edition of House Movie Files. Chief Jace, thank you as always for the dental tips, the Fantastic Four and Superman goodwill. And as always, got to thank everybody in the chat. Snake Eyes, James Green, Blake Tarpley, David Thanos, Jamlin Parks, 80s kid from the 90s, Mark A, Ryan Daly. I miss anybody else?
Was here.
Marvel fan, Snake Eyes, Afton Child. I think that was Everett. Keith Cooper. Huh?
Cool Keith, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, fellas, thank you as always. Tomorrow, we're back on for another edition of Loud's Figure Files. But for now, this episode of Loud's Movie Files has been filed.